Today is Friday, April 11th, 2025, and this is the Pittsburgh Land Bank Board meeting. I am Chairperson Bobby Wilson. I'm also City Councilman for District 1. And prior to roll call, I just want to make an announcement that today the Land Bank Board met immediately prior to this meeting for an executive conference. The topic of the meeting was real property transactions and staffing updates. And I also want to make a personal note that typically I'm either in person or on camera, but unfortunately, actually last week, I had some scheduled surgery on my foot, so I just have to keep it upright, and I'm in an awkward position. So the public, you as the public can't see me right now, and I apologize for that, keeping the camera off. But I'm trying to maintain my duties as the chairperson and a council person during these times. So thank you for bearing with me. And I also apologize for the meeting starting 13 minutes late. We had an executive session that ran over time. Apologize for that. Roll call, please, Sally.
Thank you, Chair. This is Sally Stadelman, Acting Director of the Pittsburgh Land Bank. Calling roll, Councilman Bobby Wilson.
Here.
Councilman Daniel Lavelle.
Here.
Councilman Kahari Mosley.
Here.
Director Wanda Wilson.
Present.
Director Jennifer Cash Wade. Oh, did we get
Jennifer actually requested to have another link sent to her email.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can actually, are you able to work on that? Okay. All right. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Director Kirk Berkeley.
Here.
Director Steve Mazza.
Here.
Director Tamara Dudikovich.
Here.
And Director Tammy Thompson.
Here.
All right. Thank you. Back to you, Chair.
Sure.
We have a quorum.
Great. Now enters our public comment phase of the meeting. We have a before and at the beginning and at the end of the meeting. Please use the raise hand function in the bottom menu if you wish to speak during the public comment. As a reminder, public comment is taken, like I said, at the beginning and end. To begin, please state your name, neighborhood, and your organization or affiliation with coming to the land bank. You will have 3 minutes to speak. And Sally, do you have any hands raised at this point?
Yes, I do see we have, we should have 2 speakers. I can see, I don't see any hands raised, but I do see La Teresa Blackwell in the participant section. La Teresa, are you here to make comment today?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Councilman and Chair, thank you all for this opportunity of being here and an opportunity to have the property at question that's on the table presented. So I am glad and honored that you are giving me the opportunity. So I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and I'm hoping as a community member of the North Side to be able to develop and to bring economic stability back into our undeserved and our underprivileged communities. So I'm honored to be here today and to have that opportunity.
Thank you, La Teresa. I also see we have Rhonda Strozier. Rhonda, would you like to make public comment today?
Yes, thank you, Sally. Thank you, Chairman. I am Rhonda Strozier, Executive Director of Fineview and Perry Hilltop Citizens Council. I'm speaking on behalf of Perry Hilltop Citizens Council today. We have been working alongside La Teresa Blackwell on an amazing project that has been in development for many, many years, where we're looking to turn a former gas station site that has been long overdue and had a lot of environmental issues. And we're looking to turn that into a daycare center and really bring life to our business district. So we are strongly in support of this parcel being sold to La Teresa to continue revitalizing our business district. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. And Chair, that concludes our public speakers. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sally. And thank you, everyone, for your comments. So our next agenda item is the chairman's report. It's two actions. First, is there a motion to approve the March 2025 board meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? I'm sorry.
Aye.
I'm sorry. Before all in favor, is there any comment? Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions? Motion passes. That moves us on to the highlight of our meeting, our staffing update. Welcome, Josh. And at this point, I want to turn it over to Sally.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we just wanted to introduce Joshua Rolone, who has joined the land bank team just last month as our real estate transactions coordinator. Josh is bringing over 10 years of experience working in the community development and government space, and managed community development block grant applications and funding in his prior role at the city. And we are just so excited to have him here.
Sure. Thank you, Sally. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm excited to work with Sally in supporting land real estate transactions and hopefully get a lot of these properties moving through the system efficiently. But yeah, I'm very excited to be here. And I will pass it back over to the chairman.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh. And if any board members wanted to welcome Josh, feel free. I just wanted to say that Josh was always a pleasure working with you at the CDBG office, and looking forward to all the great work you can do at the Pittsburgh Land Bank now.
Josh, welcome. You are a welcome addition to the team. We look forward to working with you.
Welcome, Josh.
Ditto, Josh.
All right. That moves us on to a resolution to authorize the land bank to execute real estate sales documents. And Sally, I'll let you read the motion.
Right, reading that resolution into the record, motion to delegate to the Pittsburgh Land Bank's acting executive director or other staff as may be deemed appropriate and pursuant to section 2110 G2 of the Pennsylvania Land Bank Act and section 202 AI of the Land Bank's policies and procedures, the authority to enter into and execute agreements, instruments of conveyance, and other related documents relating to the conveyance of real property by the land bank.
Motion.
Is there a
Second.
second? Okay. Discussion.
Just a brief summary for the board. So what that very long motion is looking to do is currently, per the State Land Bank Act, we have had our chairperson signing all of our real estate documents. And several documents require a wet signature in order for them to be executed. And especially as our volume is increasing, it just takes staff a lot of time to walk those documents over to the city county building and go chase down Councilman Wilson, who of course has been wonderful and very helpful and cooperative. But just in order to save some time, we're hoping to allow staff to sign those documents into execution so we can keep these sales moving along.
Any discussion from board members?
Very efficient.
Okay. I would like to say, if there's no other comments, I'd like to say that I'm always available to sign documents. I just know that with currently two staffers on the land bank, I know that and there has been some changes in the past. It has been it does take a lot of time just to have that process in place. So this process that's proposed here, I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, I'm always happy to sign and review and do the documents. I just know how much staff time and time is of the essence of moving vacant and abandoned property, especially whenever the board has voted, especially when the board has taken official action to do these, to do these transactions.
Exactly.
Okay. All in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions or opposed? Okay, motion passes. And that moves us to our treasurer's report, and I will defer to Director Wanda Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have several things to do, a little catching up on some of the reporting. We had some technical difficulties at our last meeting, so I apologize I wasn't able to join. So we have the year-end financials for 2024 are completed, and the audit is pretty much wrapping up. So I'll have more information at next month's meeting on the audit report. But we're hearing all, pretty much wrapping up and ready for us to have a draft to review soon. So that's great news on the 2024 audit. And so our action, I would, Sally, if you could go back to, or Josh, go back to the balance sheet. And sorry, the first slide was a little hard to read, but it's good always to, where was our balance sheet at the end of the year? And so we had a very healthy balance sheet with equity position over $1 million at $1.2 million. So it's a very strong financial position to end the year. So we always want to look at what our balance sheet is telling us, and it's a pretty picture there. So then if we go to the next slide, we did want to just take an action on a couple of the expenses that are shown here. And then also we were able, to get the last of the staffing invoices in and finalized. And so they are for action as well. So the motion for the final year-end 2024 financials is to accept the December 2024 financial report with an addendum to include the Q3 and Q4 URA and PLB staffing invoices at $173,477.72 and to approve the monthly expenses. And as your treasurer, I make that motion.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this financial report? All in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? Motion passes. Director Wilson?
So now we skip ahead a little bit because we actually already did. You're like, where's January? We did January already. So, and then at last meeting, we would have done February, but again, we had that technical difficulty with mine not being able to get on. So, so we have the financials at the end of February, and we can go to the next slide. I don't really have anything to point out that's odd or for something for you to note necessarily. The February financials have been reviewed and are here for you to see. And our motion is, I again will make this motion as your treasurer to accept the February 2025 financial report and approve the monthly expenses, the two that are listed here.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any noes or abstentions? Motion passes. That moves us on to the next item. Director?
Yeah, so we have the quarter end. So the March financials are completed. We also are up to date with the staffing costs being included in our financials. So we're happy to see that. So really this report for the end of the quarter is complete. I'm happy to report. Other than that, no other activities I would or items I would necessarily point out, but happy to answer any questions, but just happy to let the board know that everything has been booked in our quarterly quarter end financials. So we're up to date with our books. And I will make a motion to accept the March 2025 financial report and approve the monthly expenses.
Did I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any noes or abstentions? Great. Motion passes. That moves us on to, thank you, Director Wilson. And that moves us on to staff updates. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Stadelman.
Thank you, Chair. First, I'd like to take the board through a couple of updates regarding our inventory. We completed an additional 5 sales last month. You can see here. Especially excited to say the Soil Sisters has officially left the inventory. And then you'll see from the slides here, we currently have about over 25 properties that are in our closing pipeline. So we are hoping to close on those in the next month to 6 weeks. And most excitingly, we've brought in an additional, it will be 32, once we record the last couple of deeds, 32 properties that have just come into our inventory. We've got those quiet title actions started. You can see those here. Additional projects here. Some additional properties making their way into the inventory. Next, a quick update and of course, advertisement for our pilot residential rehab program. Our properties in Spring Garden have been listed for about a month. The update I've received from our realtor is that we should be receiving an application shortly for this property here, 1221 High Street. And there has been a good amount of interest. Most of that has been coming from people that rehab property professionally. So we're continuing to work with our realtor to find those owner occupants. Get our property here in Brighton Heights. Quick reminder of those residential rehab requirements. We are looking for owner occupants who can provide proof of financing and a rehab plan, and will meet our requirement to occupy the property for the first 5 years of ownership. Any questions or comments? Anything I've reviewed so far? Okay, and finally, just a reminder that we do have a position posted for our administrative coordinator. We have started scheduling interviews, so we are really excited to bring our team back up to prior operating capacity with this 3rd position. All right, and if there are no questions from the board, I'll pass it back to you, Chair.
Thank you. And that brings us to our 3 action items that we have. And we have, which are 3 resolutions, resolution number 21, 22, and 23 of 2025. And so we have URA-owned properties, and the resolution is authorizing the acquisition of property from the URA by the Pittsburgh Land Bank for conveyance to an end user. And Sally, will you please read resolution number 21?
Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 46B, Lot 76 at 0 Perrysville Avenue in the 26th Ward from the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same property to Tees Heavenly Kids Academy, LLC, an affiliated entity of La Teresa Blackwell.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Discussion.
Some brief background from the board. So you did hear from Ms. Blackwell today. who is the owner of 2610 Perrysville Avenue, a project that she is working to redevelop. She has a project manager at the Urban Redevelopment Authority and is also working with the community organization, the Perry Hilltop and Fineview Citizens Councils, of whom the board also heard from during public comment, their executive director, Rhonda Strozier. And so this would fall under the category of site assemblage in our non-competitive disposition categories. This is a city-owned lot that the URA worked to acquire to be conveyed to Ms. Blackwell. So we're here to kind of help finish off that sale and provide a smooth, easy as closing processes can be to transfer that property to Ms. Blackwell.
All right. Board members have any questions? Any comments? Okay, everyone, all in favor, please report by saying aye to resolution number 21.
Aye.
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 Any noes or abstentions? Motion passes. Moves us on to resolution number 22. The acquisition of sale of 0 McLaren Street. And Director Stadelman.
Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 10K, Lot 345 at 0 McLaren Street in the 5th Ward from the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same property to Teresa Ford for $2,400.
We have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
Oh, I think that was my cue for a bit of background information. This is a parcel that has been in the URA's inventory for some time. The URA has vetted it as a appropriate side yard sale. And so we're simply using the land bank's disposition process to make that a little bit smoother for the longtime owner occupant who lives there at 7 McLaren Street.
Any comments or questions from the board? All in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any noes or aye? Any noes or abstentions? All right, motion passes. That moves us on to our pending sales, and that brings us to resolution number 23. Director Stadelman.
Resolution amending authorization 65 of 2024, which authorized the acquisition and conveyance of Block 20A, Lot 106 in the 20th Ward to Half the Battle LLC, an affiliated entity of Tyann Battle, to convey the property to Cliffside Overlook LLC, an affiliated entity of Tyann Battle. And you know what, Chair? I apologize. I have a typo here. The correct block and lots are 9M100, 9M99A, and 9M97. Apologies.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion?
So the board passed a similar resolution last month. This project was approved last year. Ms. Battle was awarded Federal Home Loan Bank funds for a affordable housing project here. We are in the process of closing, and she's just simply opened a new LLC in order to acquire the lots for that affordable housing project. So we needed to make that update as we provide the resolution as part of the closing process and sale.
Okay. Any comments or anything for the board on resolution number 23? I am, so just for clarification, what is wrong on the sheet here? Again, can you please state?
The correct block and lot, is 9M97, 9M99A, and 9M100 is what we're conveying to Miss Battle. And we copied and pasted the resolution from last month and did not update the block and lot. It's for that,
Okay,
the listed one is for a different project.
Okay. I think it's appropriate to, for me to recommend to, if someone could make a motion to do a voice amendment here.
Motion
So
to
we-
voice amendment.
To
Motion
reflect that.
To correct the lot and block, the parcel ID, so that the record reflects the correct property that is being transferred.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Now that we have, I'm sorry, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. It's amended, and is there a now on the amended resolution number 23, all those in favor of its passage, please report by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes or abstentions? My motion passes. Thank you, Director Stademan, for walking us through that. This is now our second time in our meeting where we do public comment, and as a reminder, we do this in the beginning and end. And please use that raise hand function in the bottom menu if you wish to speak during public comment. To begin, please state your name, neighborhood, and or your organization affiliation. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Do we have any speakers, Sally?
Chair, let me pause for one moment. I do see we have one additional person that has joined us. So are there any public speakers who would like to raise their hand to make comment? Okay, seeing no hands raised, that should conclude our public comment portion. Back to you, Chair.
Okay. That moves us to the meeting and schedule. So before we move to adjourn, I wanted to let the public know that the board know that the next board meeting for 2025 is scheduled May 9th. We are moving quite fast here in this year. And are there any other comments from the board at this time? If not, if someone would like a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone.